Good evening. Happy Friday. We are live at 6:30 on a Friday evening. I am Julie, and this is Creations by Julie. I go live every Tuesday at 6:30 and every Friday at 6:30. For the last few months, we've been working with some wreaths, and I'm trying to take you step by step to show you the things that you need to make a wreath, whether you want to just make them for yourself as gifts or whatever. So anyway, tonight, before we get started, there's just a couple of things I want to talk about. I've had people ask me, how do I know if I'm watching you live? Well, if you see a little red button in the upper left-hand corner that says live, then you're catching me live. If that little red button is not there, then you're watching a replay, which that's great. You're still eligible for the things that I give away. A replay is great because you can stop it and rewind it and go back and catch things. So first thing we do before we get started with our wreaths is we are going to pick a winner from Tuesday night's live. And this person's going to get a pair of scissors and one of these little glue finger things to help you touch the glue and not burn your fingers. It's actually a makeup sponge, but it works great. It's got a little silicone edge, and it works great for holding things down and not having to use your scissors. I can't tell you how many times I've grabbed my scissors and stuck them on the glue, and then they have glue on the tips of them. So anyway, we have the names in the cup. As you come on tonight, let us know you're here, where you're from. If you're new to my page, I'd love to welcome you. Ed's behind the camera, and he'll try to catch comments. If he doesn't catch your comment or I don't say hi to you, don't worry. I go back and read all the comments after the lives. I will answer any question you have. If you need to private message me, feel free to do that with any questions or comments. All right, Ed, let's see who our winner is for tonight. And then we'll talk about how you get your name in the cup for the drawing on Tuesday.
Teresa Bishop Hughes.
Okay, Teresa, I need your address, please, ma'am. Private message me with your address, and I will get these in the mail to you first part of next week. Okay, you want to set those over there? Okay, now, how do you get your name in our little cup for the drawing that we will do Tuesday night? This is what you need to do. There's also a little button at the bottom that says S-H-A-R-E. I need you to push that button. Push it now. You can push it during a replay. You can, actually what you're doing is taking and reposting my video on your homepage so your friends can see it. You could do it now while I'm live, and then maybe they could come on and catch the live. If not, do it later. But for every time that you do this, I need you to come back to this video and say, actually, the giveaway tonight is going to be the wreath that we make, the burlap wreath. So come back and type in the word wreath. And like I said, if you're watching the replay, you need to make sure you go to my page, Creations by Julie, like and follow, and then post on my video under there, so the Facebook will tell me. Because if you're not a friend of mine, Facebook does not tell me that you shared. So I need to know. So just post the word wreath in the comments here. You can do it once. You can do it every day. You have from now till Tuesday, about 3 in the afternoon is usually when I cut it off and write down all the names. So congratulations, Teresa. Ed will kind of watch for you, maybe come on tonight. If you don't, I'll send you a message. Oh, she's already on? Yeah. Great. Well, I'll get it out in the mail to you if you send me your address.
Kathy Fox says she's in New Jersey.
That she's what?
In New Jersey.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for joining us, Kathy. Okay, let me explain a little bit why I chose to do the pull-through method tonight. Some of you have already watched a video I did a couple of months ago actually now, with the same pull-through method to make an everyday wreath. I only use this method for like the burlap. Now I've used it for the regular burlap, which is what we're going to do tonight, so that it's a year round. I used it for the heart, the red heart, but I don't use my 10-inch mesh. You probably could use the deco mesh from Hobby Lobby that's about 6 inches. But this method, you do not need any pipe cleaners except to embellish it. And I chose to do this tonight because I knew we could finish the wreath. I wanted to start fresh on Tuesday to show you different bases, and it's going to take pretty much 2 lives to do that. Tuesday we're going to start and we're going to do the poof method, and we're going to get started on an Easter wreath. And I actually have an extra sign, mesh, and everything that I'm going to use, and I'm going to put together a kit to put in my Etsy store to where you can buy the kit and you'll have everything you need to put the wreath together that we're going to do next week. So with this one, I could do all of it tonight, plus show you how you can change it up. You could take this wreath, and especially if you like, now it may not be your style. If you don't like the rustic country, then it may not be your style. If you love bling, then this is not your style. This is for people that love the simple country look and want a wreath. You actually could take this wreath and change out things on it and use it year round. And that's what's so great about it. So anyway, you're going to need, now this is just part of a roll. If you buy this at Hobby Lobby, excuse me, it's only 15 feet, which is just 3 yards. You will need 4 rolls. If you buy it at Walmart, that's your best deal because it's about $5 for 30 feet, which is your 10 yards, and you would need 2 of them.
Paula's home. She said just a little late.
Oh, that's okay, Paula. I hope you're feeling good. Okay, so you're going to need a 14-inch wreath frame from the Dollar Tree. You can do this same method with a larger frame. Just realize you need more mesh and you'll have a bigger opening in the center, which some of you may like to add certain things to. But I'm going to show you how to get started on it. And once you get going, it's just the same thing over and over and over. Okay? So you're going to come down just a little bit. So I want to make sure they know what rings I'm talking about. Okay, you have 4. Ooh, that looks really crooked. You have 4 rings on this frame. The outer ring, you have 2 inner rings, and then the main inner ring. And it kind of goes up and down. And the 2 right here are up a little bit high. Okay, I've already told you, once you buy a Dollar Tree frame, make sure you push on all 6 sides and make sure none of the crossbars are broken or anything.
It's not cut and sticking out.
Oh, yeah, and it's not so sharp. Like this one has one right here that I would probably ask Ed to take his pliers or sand it down or something, because that's the only thing about the Dollar Tree wreath frames. They can be a little sharp, and you don't want that messing up your door. Okay, I always start, and let's see, I need to go a certain way. I need to go from this way. I'm right-handed. I always start at the crossbar, okay? What you're going to do is take the finished edge of your burlap and put it between the outer one and the inner one so that you've got it between these 2 right here. Okay, hang on a second. I gotta think, make sure this is what I would do. You're gonna do 2 rows. Okay, so I've had a brain freeze. Y'all hang on. This is one I've almost done. I know you don't, yeah, you got to use those same 2 over each time. But I thought, well, that's not going to work. But anyway, you pull it up. And I always start here at the crossbar because when I come back around and finish it, I take a zip tie. You wouldn't have to if you've pushed it really tight. And you would just run it through there, both pieces, and zip tie it and cut it off. I do that because I sell my wreaths and I don't want them coming apart. So anyway, you'll start there, and I kind of feel like I'm doing this backwards. I usually just throw this on the floor, and you want to grab both ends of your mesh. And so you can see, you still see these two, okay? So if you count from the outside, 1, 2, 3, I'm basically covering that third because I went on each side of it. And you want to keep your burlap fairly straight. I mean, you don't have to get crazy with it, but that will keep your ruffles from just being totally out of whack. But you're going to pull it up tight and then just push it. Let your burlap just drop. All right, and you're going to pull it up, and you're going to be holding this part over here. I hold it with my thumb and my pointer finger, and I just pull it up. It's about 2 inches. You don't have to measure, but I think I go about 18 times in each section. So it's just a matter of pull. That's why they call it the pull through. You pull it up, put it together, and push. Pull it up, put it together, and push. And I mean, it'll go pretty fast, but you just keep, and your hands will get tired, and you may just have to stop after each thing. But you pull it up and push. And when you get so many in there that you can't put another one, then you know you're through. Now, one thing too that you've got to be careful of, when these edges here are sharp, it will catch your burlap. So you kind of have to be a little careful with that. And because it'll rip it. See, that one just the outside ripped that. So pull it up and push. Pull and push. Let's see, I'm just holding this. Yeah, are y'all understanding? You're just pulling it through. 1, 2, the third ring. And the reason you want to keep it even and tight, or as tight as you can, and get as many in that section as you can get. And this, I started at the place where that sharp one was, and it's catching my burlap. Maybe if I put it that way.
But those are easy to knock off with a grinder.
The sharp edges?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You just gotta be careful and don't bust them. So you can tell it's getting harder for me to get both edges right there. All right. So see, then, I don't know how many that is, but that's close. And it's not going to come out on its own. I want to show you how to cross over the bar, and then I'll show you how you do row 2. And I may undo part of this because I don't have a whole lot of this out here. All right, so when you go, can you see the crossover bar right here? You're just going to go on the other side of it, put it through there on both sides, just like you did. Only now, see, you're going to have a little bit of a bubble right here. Don't worry about it, but try to get as much of it as you can. You'll have to like raise up right there at the, see, I can get most of it, but we'll fix that at the end. You don't have to worry about it. And then you just start again in this section. And you just fill this section. You go all the way around, okay? And when I got all the way around to this part right here, I would kind of take this frayed edge, push this over a little bit, take the frayed edge and just kind of fold it back like this, where you don't see it. And then when my pieces were here, I would do, you've got 4, 2 on this side and 2 on this side. Just run a zip tie. You could use a pipe cleaner. You could use wire. But just run it through here to where you're catching that bar and you have them all together, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to pull some of this out because I'm going to show you now, once you've gone all the way around, your next row, you're going to do the same thing, and it's going to be a little bit harder. And I think I'm going to have to turn it this way, which means I'm doing backwards. All right, let me go to the end of this one. Like I was starting new. See, that's folded. I would just leave it folded, but I would fold it the other way. Well, no, that has a an edge there, so it really wouldn't have to be folded. Doing the outside, you can do the outside first, doesn't matter, but whichever one you do, the second one's going to be a little harder because you're going to be going between, you're going to do 2, just like you did 3, but see, your top one is going to be in the same place as the row above it. And then this part is going to be between 1 and 2. This one's between 2 and 3, but you already have this burlap in 3. So anyway, it will be a little tougher. And I am doing this backwards. It's really weird. Did you see how I've got to come through this part where I've already got some burlap? So it's a little tighter, but it's easy enough to get in there. So you'll just like you did before, pull it up and push. Kind of put them together, pull it up and push. Together, push. Together, push. So it pretty much takes 1 row to do the inside, 1 row of 30 foot to do the outside. Does that make sense? And this afternoon I counted the outside and I did, I think, 18 of the pull up push, like 18 times till I got to the end of the thing. Okay, I've got this one almost finished, but I want to finish it off for you and show you. I did everything except this one section right here. And I want to do it right. So I need to get going in the right direction. So you probably are not going to be able to see. All right. I don't know how I can get you to see what I'm doing, but there went my water. All right, so here's the row 1, row 2. I've got a crossbar here, so I'm going to have to go over that crossbar on that side of it, and then this side. Pull it up as well as I can to kind of get the extra. Doesn't have to be perfect, that first one. All right, I may have to just kind of pick this up and do it, Ed. I don't know what you're showing.
Yeah, I got the brief laying down.
Okay, but can they see this side of it?
Yeah.
2. Sometimes you have to keep changing your...
Judy Smith says looks like a really dense ruffle. She likes this method.
Yeah, and we'll spread this one out in a minute. Now you can do this with any color of the burlap. You might want to wear a mask. You're not cutting this burlap, but little fibers go everywhere. Like if you have on black slacks, when you get finished, they'll be, tan.
It got me to coughing.
Yeah, I mean, it is burlap and it can get in your lungs. So just pull it up and push. Pull it up and push. And you see what I'm saying? It's a little tighter on that side. So sometimes your stuff will, and it won't take the whole roll, I don't believe, for the outside of this one. When I started this one, I started with a full roll. And like I said, they've got red poly burlap. I think that's why I'm coughing. They've got cream. Cream makes a really pretty one. Thanks, Ed. Okay, so I'm getting towards the end. Now your hand does get tired. If you have to, just stop, especially if you're not used to it. And you may have to twist your burlap sometimes to get it going back the way it's supposed to be. So pull it up, and this is called the pull-through method.
Judy Smith wants to know if you can do this with 10-inch deco.
You might can. Seemed like a long time ago I did, but if you'll notice, there's no pipe cleaners, and it's harder to add. You can add ribbon tails and stuff to it. Seemed like I did a mingled colored red and white one time. But to me it looks better If you want to use deco mesh, try the small 6-inch rolls that Hobby Lobby has. Because your 10-inch, see, when you pull it like this, you're going to have 5 inches. It's going to be 5 inches tall. Where this is only 5.5, or so it would be half of that. Okay. And it's not going to take that whole roll because this is getting tight over here. But I can feel the fibers. And we have the back door open, but. All right, since I have some extra, I'm going to push this one a little closer that way. And I'm going to use the rest of this or some of it to do a few more right there. And then I'm going to cut it off and zip tie it. And of course, if you're OCD like me, you'll want to make sure the top row, I was trying to find my zip tie. I don't usually, it's right here. So I think I started this one over on the other side. I don't like both of my zip ties in the same place. It's just, you know, you don't need but 2. One for this row, one for this row. Okay. And it's just the same thing over and over and over. See, it's gotten really tight. You don't have to zip tie it, especially if you're just making it for yourself. It's not going to just fall out because, see, it's in there pretty tight. And I'm going to show you what to do about these later. See, I still have this much off that second row. But it's pretty tight. So what I'm going to do is go in here and cut it. Find my zip tie. You know, it's kind of hard to try to do things backwards for you all can see. I gotta find my 2 ends. Hang on. There they are. Okay. Let's see. There's these 2 ends. I'm going to fold them in just a little bit. And then there's the other 2, one of them. Let me find the other one. There it is. So I'm just going to take this zip tie. Now I went over the bar, so I can just run it through. And I really wouldn't have to do it. And I'm putting it through about 4 layers, so it's wanting to move on me. Get it through that last layer. And then I'm just going to zip tie it tight. Cut it off. And then I push it to the center so you don't even see it. All right, now you can do 1 or 2 things. You can come back over here and you see you've got your front layer there. You can kind of spread them out, open them up, fluff it up a little. Because you put all this other, cut any little places that you see. One thing that this makes a great rustic wreath is because if it frays a little bit, that just makes it even better. See, you might want to cut that. Burlap is going to fray when it's wet. You can spray it with some E6000 that dries clear. but you have to let it dry really well. See, this was the inner row. And it's pretty tight. It's not going to just fall out on its own. You could turn it over and pull it loose. Any of these places, just yank it if you wanted to. Okay, usually what I do, can you get me a kitchen knife that's not, you know, sharp point? I just take something and push these little bubbles where you had them at the thing, push them down in there between the ruffles. That's all you have to do. And it just keeps them from being a little puffy in spots. It makes it a little flatter on the back. And the reason I didn't want anything sharp, I don't want it to tear up my burlap and get it to fraying. Okay, and that's it. Now, let's talk. This is what is the giveaway. This wreath like this. Not any of the embellishments I'm going to show you, but I'm going to show you how you can take this wreath, put it on in your house, put it on your front door, and change it and leave it up year round just by what you do that you put on it. I went through my stash and pulled out a few things. Some of them I may kind of have to hold the wreath up. Y'all excuse me just a minute. I probably should have had on a mask too. Okay, if you really like country, you can get something like this.
I'm coming up.
Okay, don't come up much further than, and you could put this little chicken in there like that. You could put the little chicken over here and just run like a pipe cleaner or wire. I bought this last year for $5 at Dollar General. And it's the cutest little chicken, rooster, whatever it is. But you could do that, and then you could put a bow here. Like I said, or you could put it in the middle. Makes it really cute. You see, I've already used this cross once. You could put a cross right in the middle. And to do that, you would just staple a pipe cleaner to all four things, put it in the middle. You could put it on the side, put a bow. You could use either side, whatever, put a bow. Okay, there's so many things. Look at this one. I think this was Dollar General too. So this is all still kind of staying in the country look.
Judy Smith said that's so cute.
All right, look at this one. This is actually from Personally Yours.
Karen Hunter says, love the cross.
I do too. I had several of those crosses. I think one of the first burlap wreaths I made, I put a cross like that on it with a bow, and I'm going to show you some greenery coming out of it. But I believe it was a larger cross. I mean, a larger wreath. All right, here's the sign from Personally Yours. You could put a bow and some cotton, or just some cotton around it. I just grabbed a few things. I mean, I've got a good bit of country stuff. There's this. This came from Craft Outlet. You know, I gave y'all the link. And of course, you can put any of this in the middle. It depends on what you like. This is the fun part. You decorate it or embellish it with whatever you like. Let's see, I want to stick with some country stuff for a minute. Okay, well, let's go to 4th of July. This cross may be a little large, but maybe not. I mean, that would work. You wouldn't have to put anything else on it. There's so many things that go with the burlap. Football season. This was from Hobby Lobby. You just change it up. Put that on it. All right, here's another one, 4th of July from Personally Yours. It's probably too small to go right in the middle, but it could. Put a pretty bow here. Maybe some stars around it. You just don't, if you start gluing things in here, then you're going to rip your burlap. So try to figure out some way to use a little wire to stick it in there, pipe cleaner or something like that. what we have here. I pulled out a couple more. There's this cute little thing of carrots for Easter. Here's one, country. This again is personally yours. I love it with the barn and the horses. She does some really neat things. Or just get you a rustic star and put in the middle. And I mean, and these are things other than, of course, the ones for Easter and 4th of July that you could just leave on for months. I like the rustic. And then this is metal. It's already got one hole in it. So you would just drill a hole in whatever corners you needed. I think I made and sold one like this last year with that star. Okay, and this is a sign that I make. This is the Amazing Grace sign. And it could just go in the middle. And it kind of stands on its own too. I mean, but it's got a good backing. You just staple the pipe cleaners and put it on there. And I have the license to do Amazing Grace, How Great Thou Art, In the Garden, Rock of Ages, Jesus Loves Me, Blessed Assurance, and Sweet By and By, I think. Okay, that was some things. Now let me show you a couple more, just ribbons and florals. Let me show you this. I've been playing last week. Are we wobbling?
Yeah.
I was playing last week, and I made me some little bunnies and carrots. And wouldn't something like this be cute? Just somehow, carrot and a bunny with a cream colored bow. I did the little black and white ones. And sometime before Easter, sometime in March probably, I'll share with y'all how I did those. You just cut you out a pattern, and that's one of those no-sew things. It's done with glue. All right, this is a bow I already had made and had taken off of I think a Halloween or fall wreath. It's maybe a little large for this, but I mean, you definitely have to. Hope y'all know how to fluff bows. You've got to fluff your bows. And you store them flat. Like I would just take this one and do this and store it. And then with this wired ribbon and this canvas stuff, when you take it out of the box, you just take it and pull it apart and fluff each one of them.
Judy Smith said the bunnies and carrots are cute.
Yeah, I think they're really cute. And they were fun to make. I can't wait to get some more material of something different. I want some orange polka dot maybe. But anyway, you could put it here. You could put it here. You could put it to either side. And then some other little something here. But just, you know, you've got your pipe cleaners. Just undo it. Take it off. Here's one for Valentine's now. It's not fluffed either. But see, all kind of ribbon comes in the burlap colors. So, I mean, you could use just something simple like this for Valentine's. Get you some little hearts that you could stick down through here. And then you just change it with the bows. Oh, here's a 4th of July one. Definitely needs fluff. Now, it's only 2 loops, so it's not meant to be fluffed a whole lot. But it's good ribbon. And it'll hold. But see, that would be cute. There again, it could go up here. It could go down here. It could go to the side with a sign, one of those signs. Okay, now maybe you like, oh, I had this ribbon too. For Easter, you could just do, see this pretty ribbon? And I'm pretty sure, well, it's Deco Exchange, but Craft Outlet, Trendy Tree, most all of them have the beige color with the bunny rabbits. And you could just make a bow out of this, and same thing. Every season, I have some ribbon that is...
Judy Smith says that's a great idea. One wreath, many seasons.
Yeah, all year long. I have a bow, and I know Ed always has to go get something. If you can figure out how to untie it, it's the sunflower bow hanging in there on that clothes rack with all the wreaths in the little bedroom. But they make ribbon that's tan and has sunflowers on it, and you could just use a bow for that. Or if you want to just do florals, and say you wanted to do 3 big sunflowers. You know when you're doing florals, you do in odd numbers. You either do, yeah, it needs fluffing too. But this is the ribbon that has the sunflowers on it. See, that would look good, just the ribbon. You want to do 3, 5, 7, you know, you don't want to do an even number. So you could just put
Karen
3.
said she want to make one with denim and some old blue jean fabric.
Yeah, that would be cool. It would be, could do it the same way. You could do a bow and then, you know, put 4 or 5 coming up the sides to where you're covering more of your wreath. Or if you wanted to do little flowers, I don't know if I had enough of them loose, but you could actually take them and put them down in it all the way around somehow. And you could, you know, go backwards and forwards, put some in, put some out, but you could decorate the whole thing. I think it would be pretty to do something like that with small, like these. The small daisies, you could put them in bunches, or you could just do, wouldn't that be pretty with just a pretty white ribbon and do bunches of daisies around it. But you can get creative with your flowers. I've got some bigger white ones too. You would just pull them off the stems and put them in. You could put them all the way around. You could just put 3 in a white bow. For fall, same thing. You just use your fall flowers. I mean, see, it's just so versatile. You can use it any season, put any kind of sign on it, and change it for that holiday, and change it up. I love using like this wispy, I don't even know what it's called, but just to take a bow. This one's probably too big. But say you put a bow on the side. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, you do a bow on the side and then you just put the wispy things coming out of the bow with some greenery and just decorate it that way. This bow is too big. You'd need a smaller bow. But anyway, that's basically what I wanted to show you. Do y'all have any questions? I think I've shown you some good and a lot of different ideas that you could do. Pretty much sky's the limit. You could really show your personality, show your creativity. You could just do, like I said, a simple bow and change it out for summer. Put a bright, colorful bow. You wouldn't have to put anything else, but you could put florals. You can find signs coming and going at Hobby Lobby that would work well on this wreath. If you needed to check size, just make your wreath, take it with you in a bag and see what you like on it. But ribbon, we're going to go through making bows in a few weeks, and I'll show you how to make some very simple bows, very easy to make. Okay, that's pretty much it. So if you want this wreath, make sure you SHARE the video and come back to this video and put in the word wreath. And we will draw a winner Tuesday night, first thing. Tuesday night, I'm showing you, I hope you've got your notebooks going. This was the pull through, 2 rows of 30 feet. Or 4 rows of that's 15 that you can get at Hobby Lobby. Tuesday night we're going to do the poof method, and I'm going to do it with white snowdrift mesh, 10-inch mesh, and it also can be done with 21-inch mesh, but I'm going to show you with the 10-inch, and it's going to end up being an Easter wreath by the time we get through next Friday night. So invite your friends, and I really appreciate y'all coming back. Even if you don't comment or whatever, I watch so many videos of people, and I'm not one to comment a whole lot, so I totally understand it, but just tell me hi so I can at least know you're there, speak to you and welcome you, and I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your evenings to spend with me. So I hope you've learned something tonight, other than what a big stash of stuff I have. But, you know, like I said, I just pulled out a little bit of stuff. I have tubs of farmhouse stuff and, you know, so. All right, well, we will see y'all Tuesday at 6:30, and y'all have an awesome and blessed weekend. Bye. And hopefully Ed and I won't be coughing on Tuesday. Bye.